Here's an advanced ad strategy that made me millions. And if you don't believe me, just look at this one account. I've spent $362,000 on my own stuff. This is not for a client or an agency or anything. This is my own products. Overall, I've spent about $7 million. This particular ad framework is just super dope. Oh, by the way, my name is Dan Henry, founder of GetClients.com. I've made $35 million, blah, 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 blah. You don't care. You normally are used to seeing things like hook, story, offer. Now, in another tutorial I did, I showed you the hook value offer framework, which I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch that. But for this one, I have a framework called hook analogy offer. Now, what does that mean? So what you have to understand is most people, when they hear an offer, when they see ads, when they get on an email list, when they get into your world considering buying your stuff, the vast majority of people will be on the fence. So I always categorize it into three particular buckets. So bucket one would be people who just say no. These are people who they see your ad, your marketing, and they go, no, I'm good, I don't need this, screw off, right? Then there's the people that say yes. They just say yes right away. This is for me, boom. And then there's the people who are on the fence. They basically say maybe. Okay, so let's say for a moment that the amount of people that say yes immediately is 2%. Now, depending on what you sell, if you sell something that's super cheap, it could be 20%, it could be 10%. If you sell something that's super expensive, like a $10,000 offer, well then it could be even lower, like 0.5%. Or if it's $50,000, it could definitely be lower. But let's just call it 2%. Let's say 2% say yes immediately. Well, that does not mean that 98% of the rest of the people you're marketing to and have seen your stuff are saying no. That does not mean that. It means that probably, I would say, maybe like 70% are saying no. 28% are on the fence, which if you take a look at 28% versus 2%, that's a freaking amazingly large pool of people that you could get to buy. And so when you do remarketing to them, retargeting ads, etc., what you're really doing is you're going after these people. Because the people that said no, they don't care. They're not going to buy. The people that said yes, they already bought. The people that are on the fence, which is the majority of the people you can make a lot of money from, those are who's going to see your retargeting ads, and that's where your retargeting money is going to come from. Because there are multiple studies that show that the majority of all sales, something like over 80%, come from follow-up. The efficiency of our retargeting campaigns is going to be just, it could be the difference between being poor and rich, to be quite honest. It's the difference between me buying a $30,000 little fishing boat or me buying a $2 million Horizon PC60 yacht, which I did. I bought it cash, $2 million. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that I swear to you, I've spent a lot of money on ads. I've made a lot of money. I've bought nice stuff. I live in Dubai. I've got a beautiful view. I swear, an amazing chunk of that money came from retargeting, from ads. So here's a retargeting framework that will just absolutely smash for you. And that, again, is called hook analogy offer, which, hold on, where the hell is my shit? Okay. Now, the reason why this works so well is when people are on the fence, it's because they aren't thinking about the problem the right way. So what hook analogy offer does is it hooks their attention, it shares an analogy that gets them to say, I never thought about it that way. And then they are much more susceptible to the offer. So I'll give you an example. There was a guy back in the 70s. He was a life insurance salesman. His name was Ben Feldman. And he sold more life insurance than any other life insurance salesman in history. By 1979, literally sold more insurance on the books, on paper, than even the top guys in New York at the big Manhattan firms. And Ben had a small Ohio office, did not have a big Manhattan firm. And what he would do is he would go into elevators And he would just talk to people. He would like literally ride up and down the elevators in office buildings and just talk to people. And he would use these, what I call agreement analogies, to make them think differently and sell them life insurance. And one of his best ones was, he would say, if you had a money printing machine in your basement, would you insure it? And they would go, well, yeah. And then he would go, well, aren't you that money printing machine for your family? Bam, sold a ton of life insurance. Now, this got the prospect to say, I never thought about it that way. So when you make videos, when you make ads, heck, even emails, where you share an analogy that gets your customer to think about it differently, that it could be the moment they go, I never thought about it that way, buy, okay? So let me show you how to do this. First, just think of the false belief that your audience has that is preventing them from buying. Think of that false belief. Then think of an analogy, and pay close attention to this, that it's basically a thought experiment that they have to agree to. Like if I said, if you had a money printing machine in your basement, would you insure it? Everybody on the planet would say yes to that. So it's a thought experiment. If this happened, imagine this, imagine you're doing this, imagine you're doing that. They agree to it. You then associate that analogy with the belief you need them to have to buy. So they go, well, yeah, of course I would think about it this way. Oh, well, now I need to think about it the same way according to your, as it relates to your offer, because if this makes sense, then that has to make sense. So let me show you a much easier way to do this, okay? If this seems too difficult for you to come up on your own and you're not an amazing copywriter, if you are an amazing copywriter, then there you go. You can just click off this video. But if you're not an amazing copywriter, I have a software called Artimo that'll do this for you, okay? So you just go in here, you click Add Copy Tools, Add Writer, Hook Analogy Offer, which is right here, and you put in your name. Artimo will just ask you. They'll say, what's your name? Dan. Describe your audience, online business owners. Describe your offer in detail. I have an AI copywriting software that will write all your copy for you. What's the false belief that's holding them back from buying? So I would imagine that some people, when considering my software, would say to themselves, well, I can just use ChatGPT. But see, I know that ChatGPT only has access to basic copywriting formulas. They don't have access to the millions of dollars in marketing experiments, to the seminars that I've attended that I paid $30,000 for, where I learned amazing copy. Like, they don't have access to this stuff, right? So I put in the false belief. I say they think they can use ChatGPT, but they don't realize ChatGPT was not made by the best copywriters in the world, so the models are very basic. And I could have explained it a little bit better in there, but just to show you what happens if you're lazy, I'll show you what it will come up with. So then I say, what specific offer or call to action do you want to promote? I just say, click to see how Artimo, our AI copywriter, works. What language do you want it written in? I tell them English, because Artimo will write anything in any language. And then I hit next. Okay, so then it's going to give me 3 versions of the copy. It's going to give me a long form copy, it's going to be a medium form copy, and a short form. So I'll go ahead and read this to you, and this will just give you an example of how to craft your own. Or again, if you want to use Artimo, you can just do that. So you wouldn't let a robot cook your Thanksgiving dinner, so why let one write your business copy? Running an online business means wearing many hats. From strategist to marketer, it feels like you're juggling 1,000 things. It's tempting to lean on AI tools like ChatGPT for copywriting. But here's the catch. ChatGPT was not built by top-tier copywriters. It's like asking a machine to make grandma's famous pie without the secret ingredients. Imagine trying to create your favorite dish using only common sense and no recipe. You might get something edible, but it won't have that magic touch. ChatGPT can draft sentences, sure, but without the artistry of known experts, your content lacks depth and persuasion. Think about this. If you have the option of an AI specially crafted by world-class copywriters, why settle for the just okay version? Your business deserves more than generic fill-in-the-blank content. It's about making your message resonate in a way others simply won't. Now let's talk about why you should care. Your copy is your business's voice. It's how you connect, engage, and hit those sales goals. Artimo, our revolutionary AI copywriter, was designed with expertise woven in every line. Unlike generic models, Artimo understands what makes copy compelling and tailored to spur action, inspiring customers to click that buy button. Are you ready to turn your content from passable to phenomenal? Stop relying on tools that can't punch above their weight. Discover how Artimo transforms your words and see the difference professional craftsmanship makes. Now, it'll transition, wondering how Artimo can change the game for you. Click to see how Artimo, our AI copywriter, works and unlock a new level of copy brilliance. Then it gives you multiple headline options. Now, whether you take what I taught you and you write it on your own, or you try Artimo, which if you want to, I'll leave a link in the description where you can check that out. Shifting the belief of a customer and making them say, oh, I never thought about it that way, is sometimes all you need to get the vast majority of people on the fence over the line. And those are the easiest sales because they're literally on the fence. They just need one thing to go and tip them over.